talking about how to set up a quick click link. So to do that, we would starting from the home page, we'd go over to Options, click the drop down, and there's an option on the left sidebar for quick click. If we click that, it takes us to the main setting page. From this page, there's a couple things that we can do. We can generate a new button. We can customize a little bit of the look and feel of what the quick click page looks like. We have the ability to require certain fields on that page. We can also, if you have multiple payment methods, you can select which ones are available through quick click. You can update security. This one is more so if you're using specific keys. You can set up tax preferences, shipping preferences, and you can also set up convenience fee or surcharging if that's available in your area. And you can also view previously made quick click buttons. This is helpful if you lost the link or if you need to review the settings. So the first thing let's do is let's go ahead and create a new button. So on the button generator, there are a few different types of buttons that you can create. If you're connecting it to a shopping cart, this one's a little bit more in depth, so we won't cover that in this video. However, you have the ability to create just a simple checkout page associated with a shopping cart. For a fixed price button, this works more specifically if you have like one product or service and you want to create an individual checkout page for each product, and the price doesn't change. The donation button is more useful if you're creating a donate now button. You can also use it to send people a link to be able to make a payment on an invoice, or you can allow them to use the quick click link to pay for a service where you want to allow them to specify the amount, or if it's not a static amount. And recurring payments allows you to set up a page for them to sign up for a plan. So if you have a subscription or a specific plan, you can set them up, or you can give them a link to subscribe. So let's start with the donation button, because this is generally what people use when they're creating a quick click link. So the first thing that you're going to have is an item description. Now, if this is a specific item, like a donation for a ABC charity, you would put that in the item description, and that's what's going to show up on the item on their receipt. However, if you're using it for an invoice, you can say invoice payment, or you can use something more general that says payment to, in this case, to Tim's Bakery, because that's our company name. So let's go ahead and use that, payment to. Okay. If you want to have, especially if it's a donation and you want to give them the option to set it up for recurring, you can allow them to set that up. When they go to the payment page, they'll have the option to set the frequency and the amount and the number of payments. We're not going to use that right now because we're just trying to create a general quick click link. If you want to give them a specific amount, then we'll need to click include amount field. So unless you have a website that's directing a specific amount to the payment page, you'll need to click this button to include amount field. Finish URL. This will allow you to direct it to a specific page after completing the order. If you want to redirect them back to your website, you can, or you can direct them pretty much anywhere you want, but I would suggest keeping it to a site that you own. For key verification, you can use the default key. Generally that works just fine. And then once you've set all your settings, you just go and click create button. We did that, and now here we have just some quick HTML for the button. You can copy and paste this into a website, or you can just use this link that gets generated. And quick click links are able to be kept as a hosted page, so these are active as long as you have them available. So in this case, you can copy this link. If we copy and paste this into a new tab, this is what our billing page looks like. So in order to move on, we're going to have to fill in these fields. So let's go ahead and do that. I put in an address. Okay, so now we've filled out that information. And we're going to select a box. And remember, this is what your customer sees. So if we click continue, then we have the ability to enter the amount. In this case, we're going to put $1. And then on the next page, this is where they are able to enter their card information. Okay, there's a CAPTCHA. Okay, and complete order. Okay, so now this is since this was a test account, it went through even though I used a fake credit card number. But and this is what they'll see for their transaction receipt. Now the customer also has the ability to click if they would like to print their receipt. It's pretty much the same thing, just without that, and then it's formatted to print easily. So if we were to go to Control Print, this is what it would print like. We don't need to do that at the moment, so we're just going to go back. In this case, there's nothing else we can do. We didn't set a link for it to go after the transaction completed, so we're just going to close that out. And this link can be used as many times as you need to. Or you can also paste this HTML into your site, and it'll input a button that says donate. If they click the button, it'll direct them to the page. That's that same quick click page that we saw by going to the link. So if we go back into the quick click settings, we have a couple more options. So look and feel. In this case, we can add a profile. We can name our profile. We can set specific colors. You can add a header. You can add text to it. So let's see if we do that. Let's add our header text. So okay, and on the footer, okay, sorry, in this case, I didn't put a name. Okay, so we've got that created. Okay, now if we go back to Quick Click, if we were to go and generate a new button, so if we actually go to that link, let's see if it added. Okay, so now we can see that the header text has posted as well as the footer text. Okay, for the customer information, this allows you to set fields that are viewable, required, or optional. So for example, if you didn't want to require the city and state but wanted to require the zip code, you could do that. If you don't want to require a phone number, you don't have to. So things like that. You can also change for shipping if you're not requiring shipping information. And anytime you save this, it'll apply to the button. So in this case, if we go back to that link, now those fields that we unmarked as required are no longer required. They're no longer red. So these other ones you can set up as needed, but we're not going to cover that in this video. And there you have it, just the basics on how to set up a button. You're welcome to set up as many buttons as you need. There's no cost associated with it, and it's pretty simple. For more information, go ahead visit our site or our YouTube channel to see more videos on how to use the Agapay Transaction Gateway.